I'm your host, Cecily Simmons-L of Operation Fibroid Freedom, and I wanted to come on today. This is a new show that I will be doing from time to time here on the channel. But I want to show you an easy way, or how easy it is, rather, to make drinks that are healing as well as nourishing, but also will help you to gently, naturally cleanse. So that's the purpose of Tonic Tuesday. So today I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy medicinal or herbal tonic. No, not alcohol, just herbal, medicinal, all holistic properties for this tonic. So that's the purpose of the name, Tonic Tuesday. And of course, I do have a special announcement. Hi, Melissa. How you doing, Goddess? Thanks for joining me. So, yeah, I mean, this is stuff that I do anyway. I make little drinks and stuff, but I realized that this is information that could be very beneficial, just to show people how different items that we have in our pantry, in our cupboards, can be used and are really inexpensive and simple to reverse sickness and disease, particularly fibroids. And we're going to talk about some of those properties. So while we're doing that, I have my kettle that I love. I'm going to turn that on, and that's going to boil. It may get a little loud while we're talking, so I guess I'll keep this back here. Okay. And then I'm going to show you the first tonic that I have is going to include some fresh ginger. Very easy way. Now let's talk about some of the properties of ginger while I'm cutting that are beneficial for natural wellness. In addition to being related to wound wellness, if you don't know, ginger will take away tooth pain. Ginger is a natural antibiotic. So, and that's partially why the tooth pain goes away if you're using ginger. Literally, you can put raw ginger, and it may sting after you hold it there for too long. But a tincture is great too. But you can put that in your mouth and just hold it over a toothache, and it will remove the toxins that are causing the pain, the bacteria. It's got these great antibiotic properties. Very healing. So again, we use this a lot for cooking, and we still get the benefits when we cook with things like ginger. But don't even sleep on the fact that you can literally, what we're about to do, pour hot water over this, and it becomes a tea with medicinal properties that serves multiple purposes for wound wellness. It is helps to heal the circulatory system. And one of the big things about ginger is that it's anti-inflammatory. And inflammation is a very popular word these days because there's so many triggers probably in our environment and in modern day living that lead to inflammation, right? But basically, ginger is anti-inflammatory. So the more you can get fresh, raw ginger into your diet, the more you are contributing to anti-inflammatory properties, behaviors happening in your cells. So I'm going to talk a little louder because she gets a little loud. But the other thing with inflammation that we're going to address herbally today, we're going to go into another easy, very common spice that you probably have in your cabinet that's also anti-inflammatory. But the thing about inflammation is it's another way, and I talked about this last week on the live stream over on Instagram. It's another way to look at why you may have developed uterine fibroids. The cells become inflamed inside of our bodies, and they have messaging that communicates to our other cells. I think they're called cytokines, right? They get the message that because all these other cells they have inflammation, to create more cells with that coating. When you start to add more of these foods into your diet, very simple spices like this, you're changing the messaging at your cellular level to contribute and create new cells that have anti-inflammatory properties. So basically, it neutralizes sickness and disease at the cellular level. So I'm going to put some ginger here in my cup. Really simple. Now, while we're waiting on our water, the big herb of the day that I'm super excited to share with you, that another herb that's super common, especially if you are from the islands, and that is hibiscus. Very sexy, pretty, beautiful fuchsia color. But the cool thing about hibiscus is that it has a lot of properties that are relevant to shrinking fibroids naturally. So it is a natural detoxifier for your liver. It also helps your liver to create more of the antioxidants, the natural compounds that help your liver to function better to cleanse out excess estrogen and toxins in the body, and that is glutathione. It does a whole host of things for blood pressure and circulation. Great for your skin, and it also has anti-cancer properties. So imagine something so simple but so beautiful, right? I love when I have hibiscus tea. One of the big things, somebody messaged me this week about having problems with refraining from alcohol, and she was trying to shrink fibroids naturally, and she was wondering if, you know, alcohol is connected, and yes, alcohol consumption is definitely connected to one of the reasons why someone could have fibroids, and it's something that has to be ceased, paused for increments of time at the very least when you are increasing your nutritional powerful natural herbs and supplements. Because when we consume alcohol, we are basically depleting all of our minerals. Like, alcohol causes the body to do a throw off of all of the nutritional vitamins and minerals that our body has. It kind of just does a dump of the minerals, which is probably why people get hungover and feel like crap afterwards. But this also will help to repair the liver from alcohol damage, that hibiscus will. And then also, it's a great thing that I recommend for people who love red wine, because it's red. And believe it or not, if you've not had hibiscus tea from the actual leaves, it has a thicker feel. It has more of a body, which kind of lends itself to, even though it's not the same thing, we know, because I love red wine, but you know, it gives you the feeling of having an indulgent, luxurious drink, and also something to substitute and cut off the messaging channel in the brain that's looking for wine. It's great to use, and you're also nourishing your liver. So what I'm going to do now, I've got my minced ginger that we just talked about, healing, reduces free radical oxidative stress in the body, and also recodes the cells in the womb in the body to not carry the messaging of inflammation, so anti-inflammatory. So I'm going to add in my hibiscus, and yes, I added in quite a bit, but we're kind of making an alchemical elixir here. Now, usually, yes, I would use my tea strainer, which I couldn't find. So I'm an herbalist and an herb nerd. So, you know, sometimes I do sip my tea with the leaves just floating around in it. I'm hardcore like that, right? So I'm gonna let this steep, and I wish I could kind of put it up, prop it up on something while we're waiting. Let's see. While we're waiting, because we're not done with this one, but I'm going to sit it here. Isn't that cute? This could be dangerous on the air. And then I'm going to show you another easy tonic that you can make. We have one more thing that I'm going to do to that, and then I'm going to move into our next common kitchen pantry ingredient that does so much powerful natural reversal of fibroids, as well as inflammation in general anywhere in your body. Also great for joints, also great to prevent cancer. Yeah, so let's talk about it. turmeric. You see I got some here, and I also have some from my herb apothecary. And you can also buy it like you can get ginger. You can get it raw. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reuse this ginger in my next drink while we're waiting on this to steep. I will be doing this drink, this tonic for Tonic Tuesday in this cup. So let's get some more ginger minced. It really doesn't have to be difficult to shrink fibroids. If you did something like this every day, these drinks are cleansing, purifying. I'm going to put the ginger in here in bigger pieces. They're detoxifying. We're going to add our turmeric. And I have one more thing to show you about the ginger, but let's just add that. Don't be shy with this. I mean, literally, if you have, I work out a lot, as you all may know if you watch this channel. So knee problems, again, it's reducing inflammation anywhere in the body. So I've got turmeric and I've got larger slices of ginger here. So let's pour our hot water here. And we're going to look at how beautiful this cup looks. And also, on another level of wellness, this drink is very balancing to your sacral chakra or your creative chakra. Your stability and balance in life will be enhanced when you drink beverages this color. If we're talking on a chakra level, your hibiscus, because it's red, is going to be more directly correlated to your root chakra, where your sexual energy. Traditional Chinese medicine also refers to that as qi. So you're going to be nourishing and energizing your qi, which is the life force energy. And that's how you measure your vitality, by the way, is by looking at the state or the level of your qi. And if it's balanced, if your root chakra is too open, you may want to, do some things to counter that. If it's too closed, or, completely closed, then you're going to need to do some things in the other direction to counter that. Now, I said I was going to show you my next thing for our hibiscus drink. Just as a second option, and something that I love as an herbal nerd and the daughter of a gourmet chef and a chef in the Army. My dad was a chef in the Army, and my mom was a gourmet chef, or she is a gourmet chef. Now, this is gourmet. Look at that. Ginger powder. You can get this at like any of your chef's suppliers, wherever they sell like good, expensive quality. They don't have to be expensive, but vanilla, like if you're looking for vanilla bean, like true non-processed vanilla powder, because a lot of these things are processed and they would have a lot of additives. This is pure powdered ginger. Also, you could get this type of a ginger if you were buying herbs in bulk, which is what I do and which is why I have it. But as a topper to my hibiscus tonic here, that I hope doesn't fall in the air, I like to add a bit of spice. Even though we already have some fresh ginger, I'm just going to sprinkle some on the top. And you tell me that this is not a liver detoxifier, a womb nourisher. It's going to help to balance your hormones. It's going to be anti-inflammatory, all those things we just talked about. And it's also balancing your root chakra. I'm going to stir that up really quickly, because I know it's going to get darker when I stir it. And if you had a toothache, I just told you, look how pretty that is. And again, if you're just watching, you're just tuning in, you can use a tea strainer. I couldn't find my tea strainer, and I didn't want to use my tea bags because sometimes I just like to commune with the herb and the color. So look at that. Look at that hibiscus there. These are the crushed hibiscus leaves. If you buy the whole leaf, it's even prettier. Now for this turmeric drink here, which I also need to stir, I got one more thing that I'm going to add. Remember, this is our chunkier pieces of ginger. Now, another thing that I forgot to mention about ginger, for my goddesses and the gentlemen too, that are experiencing constipation. If you're constipated, or even if you're not constipated, say you're not regular, you don't have regular bowel movements, you go, or maybe you have them daily, but they're strained. They're not natural, healthy bowel movements. Ginger is going to naturally enhance your digestive to function properly and smoothly. So it helps to move the digestive as well as detoxify your digestive system. So more to the properties of ginger. This is something that I'm going to add to further enhance the detox, and it's a fresh organic squeeze of a lemon on my turmeric drink, and plus it kind of goes with the color. So do this, lots of seeds, and then once I do this, I will take a sip. If y'all have any questions, you can put them in the chat, and then I'll have a big announcement that I can't wait to share with you. Okay, so first I'm gonna cut me a lemon for garnish, and I'm just gonna drop it in. So now the whole drink is this color, so it may be kind of hard for you to tell, but look how beautiful that is and how easy it is for you to address cleansing, detoxing, nourishing in one drink. Like literally, there's no reason that natural detoxification, natural fiber elimination cannot be available to everybody. It doesn't always have to involve a big budget. A lot of you reached out to me, and I'm happy to still, I do answer a lot of questions in my DMs every day. And these goddesses are not even paying clients because there's so many ways, so many hacks to shrinking fibroids. Like God really has given us everything we need for wherever we are at, budget-wise, energy, communication, community-wise, to put together a system to shrink fibroids, right? So anyway, I don't think there's anything else I would add. Now, if I were going to add sweetener, which I am not, definitely not adding any sweetener to that because I don't want to throw off the color. But I'm going to take a sip here. Bitter, which you already know when it's bitter, it's very nutritive and very detoxifying and cleansing. Also, it's energizing. Like I feel some activation in my pineal gland here. I don't know if that's supposed to happen, but I feel it. Now let's take a sip of my hibiscus ginger. This is the bomb. Again, so good. And then the texture is, I guess texture is not the right word when it's a liquid. So is it viscosity? You know, I was almost a sommelier. Working at restaurants, waiting tables, selling wine for so many years. The viscosity means the mouth feel, right? This tea has the best mouth feel. It really is an experience. It's not just like a boring, okay, I got a drink. It's a tea. It's not the same as sipping a cranberry tea or something. It totally has a full experience with every sip. It's got body to it. Body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. So get you some hibiscus. And yes, hibiscus is one of the herbs that I use in the Biofibroids tea blend over on my Etsy. So any phone calls right now. If you're interested, go over to my Etsy. The shop is called Plant Force Field. It's all one word on Etsy. So you can go over there and grab that, and you'll get you some hibiscus, but you'll also get my herbal blend of womb balancing, fibroid shrinking herbs. That testimonials are on there too. But now let's go into the announcement, shall we? Did I mention if I were going to sweeten, the best sweetener is the lowest glycemic index sweeteners. I almost dropped this all over the ground. but I would probably use a coconut palm sugar. But I'm not really addicted to, I'm thankfully not attached to having sweet beverages. But sometimes if I want sweet, especially like I said, hibiscus is a great substitute, a great option if you are weaning yourself off of alcohol and wine. Add some coconut palm sugar in there or some date syrup. They're a little bit lower glycemic index than the traditional honey or agave. Agave, I can kind of feel the sugar spike, so I try to stay away from that. But I think that's all that I had to show you today. I do have another option for ginger for those of you that are interested in herb nerds, and that is, you probably won't be able to see this on my hands, but it's literally dried ginger root. Very, very healing, very energizing, powerful, powerful, natural, easy ways to cleanse and shrink fibroids. So let's get to the announcement. I'm so excited to let you know that we are now expanding into television. I am going to be on the Loea network. I have my own show on the Loea, and it's spelled Loea. The channel is now live, and I will be hosting a season of a show called By Fibroids with Cecily on the Loea network on Roku. So I am so excited. And it's a network that's been put together by women for women who are entrepreneurs. And that's the whole group of women hosting shows on that network. We're going to be are all very accomplished, intelligent, powerful women across all different areas of business, life, whatever. But your girl is now going to be on Roku on that channel. I will have more specific details on, I think, the actual channel number. I don't have that yet, but I will be posting it. And of course, I will be showing you more up front, up close and personal, behind the scenes. And I'm going to be posting the whole series that's going to be on Roku on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're sharing these videos with your community, any women that you know that may be looking to shrink fibroids naturally, may want to know more about it. Share the info because we're growing, sis, and I'm inviting you to come along. I'm so excited to be in the company of a group of amazing women and to be able to talk about getting rid of fibroids naturally and on a larger platform in addition to this one. That nothing's going to change here except you're going to see a lot more of me because whatever I share there, I'm going to make it available here too. But the actual show name is By Fibroids with Cecily. So if you have Roku, I'm encouraging you to look up the network. It's Loea. And the show is By Fibroids with Cecily. Make sure you set up your DVRs because I will be in your living rooms. And the show will be running multiple times throughout the day, starting February 14th. So the official launch date where you can see me and my show on that network on Roku will be February 14th. They may be starting with some host interviews that week. I'm not really sure, but I want to keep you in the loop and to make sure that you know that, we are now on Roku and there's more to come. I've been waiting and holding that in for a long time. I'm super excited. And it's definitely a moment to say, give thanks to the Most High because, again, just like I'm sitting here talking to you, I once had fibroids and was downtrodden, down and out, wondering how I could get rid of fibroids naturally. I did not know how I was going to do it. And it's really a big expansion of nothing but God that I am now able to bring this knowledge to larger channels on the airwaves on Roku. And I know there's bigger things coming. So I want to say thank you to you for rocking with me this far on Operation Fibroid Freedom, and you were here from the beginning. You could say it now, and we're going to go further together because I have a lot more in store. I have been, and I'm going to ask you all that's watching or whenever you see this, if there's something that you want me to cover, you'd like me to answer some questions on the topic of fibroids, any area of fibroids, I can, consider going into those questions for you in detail and maybe including some of them on the show. I'll get a lot of the same questions though, so I may have already answered some of them. I've been doing this on Instagram, but I do want to pose and make this offer to my YouTube community. What are you struggling with? What would you like answers on? Let me know. Send me a DM. You can email me. You can post it in the comments on this video, and I can look into that or at least get back to you and let you know if I've already answered it or help you with that, maybe even on the show. So, I'm just really thankful and I'm super excited. And that's what I wanted to say. Now, to wrap things up, couple of questions that I've been getting, I'm going to go over those now. One of them, let's see, I'm going to answer that one. The first one that I want to go into will probably be the one that I answered yesterday on TikTok. And that is the question that I get about, literally, it'll say, my fibroid is this many centimeters. Is that too big to shrink? Or, now I have this many fibroids. Is that too many to shrink? Can I shrink, this? Or is a fibroid here in this region of my womb shrinkable? And I want you to, start to listen to your questions and identify your capacity to believe that natural wellness, reversing fibroids, reversing sickness and disease is available to you. Because a lot of women, when they're asking me those questions, it's just showing that you still are putting limits on what is possible for you, and that you are in need of some mindset work, some maybe introduction into quantum and metaphysical wellness. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that is where, if you're asking questions about quantity and the size of fibroids, which I'm not saying that you need to dismiss the size. I'm just saying that when you come to a natural holistic practitioner like me, I'm not a medical doctor, right? So I had fibroids that were, one was the size of a large grapefruit, and then I had another one that was smaller, but it was causing all the bleeding. Now, I could have got caught up on size, but I didn't really have the brain capacity to sit there and focus on size, because to me, that is really going to have me overthinking. Okay, like centimeters, first of all, are a smaller measurement increment. So for me to say, okay, it's 5 centimeters. Okay, I wonder if I can get it to 4. I can get it to 3.5. Like that right there is a waste of time and energy and thought. What you should be focusing on is your fibroid freedom action plan, meaning your series of steps that you're committing to consistently to add up to equal natural fibroid elimination. And they will look something like eating whole food plant-based, exercising, which is what I'm going to get into for my next question, making sure you're regular. Are you detoxing regularly? What type of herbs and supplements regimen are you using? And what and who do you need to eliminate from your life that could have been triggering fibroids to grow through stress, through trauma, through abuse, through negative thinking? Could be your work environment. All these things are the pillars that we talk about when we say natural fibroid elimination action plan. You should have a plan that is a group of some of those categories where they're all being addressed properly. That's where your focus should be. And if you focus on your plan and stay consistent with your plan, you don't have to overthink about whether the fibroid is this many centimeters this week, and whether when you go back for an ultrasound, it's going to be another smaller. Like your focus should be on the positive. What can I do this week? What new activity can I do? What new vegetable can I eat? You know, what new thing can I juice that I didn't juice? You know, how can I mix up and add some more color and variety to the plants that I'm using in my whole food plant-based diet? You know, what new teas can I experiment with? What new movement can I do in yoga? Not the centimeters. And the questions about size and quantity just shows that there are limits that you are still getting confused by in your mind. And you need to do some mindset work, some spiritual attunement to bring up your vibration so that you are open to the real potentiality of the fibroids dissolving, because they will dissolve when you take control of your reality in your mind. Okay? I hope that answered that question. And then the other question that I got, it's not really a question. I get this comment a lot, and I do understand the question, or I do understand the thinking that I get with this. But I have to tell you my answer. When I started doing the challenges, which I haven't done a challenge in a while, but when I started doing the Operation Fibroid Freedom Balance challenges, and I would be getting into the fitness that we needed to focus on for the week, the fitness routine, sometimes one of the goddesses will say, my fibroids prevent me from moving like that. You know, I'm going to have some of this tea now. They'll say, my fibroids prevent me from moving like that, or, you know, I wish I could move. I don't have enough energy to do this type of a movement with fibroids. These fibroids are so whatever, they are whatever. But the whole messaging is the fibroids are in control of what you are able to, or what you will allow your body to do as far as movement. The fibroids are controlling your movement in your own body. And I've been there. And I started small with baby steps, with things that I wanted to do. If I couldn't jog, like really run, then I would walk, you know. If I couldn't, sorry, my dishwasher is finishing, and now my front door is opening. If I couldn't dance, then I would maybe just bounce in place, you know, just sway. Movement of your womb space is critical. Number one, you have to shake up the stagnant energy that has fed fibroids. And you also have to cut off the cellular messaging that has the messaging to grow more fibroid cells in the womb. The way you're going to do that is to put pressure on the fibroids and give the fibroids a shock to their system. Part of it is the Fibroid Freedom Action Plan. The other part of it is showing up in your body the best way you can and taking control of your movement. Don't let fibroids dictate whether and how you can move, you know. Do what you can do, but don't use fibroids and let fibroids become an excuse for you to not be active, because the longer you do that, the longer you're going to have fibroids. You know, fibroids love an environment where the person is eating unhealthy, they're having low vibrational thinking, and they never move. They love sedentary lifestyle, starchy foods. So what you're going to want to do, if you can't do, and I'm saying this because, yes, I do Dance Fit with Cecily on Saturdays, and I know some of you have said, you know, I can't do these moves that I'm doing on Dance Fit with Cecily. And I recognize that some of these workouts are going to be too intense. But there's always a modification. You know, and you'll even see me get tired on some of the moves that I put together. And some days I can do them better than others. But honestly, if you are properly nourishing and at least trying to do the modified version, and you stick with that, 2, 3, 6 weeks later, you will be able to do the moves. You're also missing nourishment of your cells, minerals and vitamins. You know, magnesium is amazing. You have to make sure you have what you need so that you can be the best version of yourself that you have in your head. And as long as you are allowing fibroids and saying things like, my fibroids prevent me from doing, fibroids should never prevent, right? They did prevent me for a temporary amount of time when I was figuring out how to get rid of fibroids naturally, right? But there are plenty of answers and options for you to slowly start to change your reality with fibroids. And in the meantime, if you can't do every move that I do, do what you can, right? If some of the moves, I'm literally standing there punching in place. Stand there and punch in place. Some of the moves, last week we did, I was laying on the floor and we did pelvic floor activation. We did breathing exercises at the end of the workout. So again, I want to encourage you to start to embrace a new outlook. Fibroids is not a sentence to you to never be active again. It does not give you a pass to say, I have a disability to where I can't do this and this and that. If you really are serious about getting rid of fibroids naturally, you have to take and transmute what looks like a negative situation and a message and an opportunity to stay inactive. And you have to look at and say, okay, well, what can I do now? If I can just breathe deep with my hands on my womb space and do some womb winding today, that's good. Can you lift one leg in place? Then do that. Do that for 3 sets of 12 and see if that causes you to break a little bit of a sweat and get a little winded. You did some movement, right? But I do the workouts that I do because when I had fibroids, I couldn't do them. Okay, when I had anemia, I couldn't do them, right? So now part of what I'm offering, in addition to instruction on herbs, instruction on natural fibroid elimination, is also going to be fitness, because fitness is a real part of my branding and who I am, and that's something that I choose to do now because I get to show up and be active in my body, and it's important to me to share that with whoever it resonates with. But I noticed that some women come and they're able to do it and they show up, and then some women say things like, I can't do that. Well, there's always a modification, and I would say stick around and wait until we do the next track where it's a little bit slower and do some of those moves. Just show up in the energy where we're holding space for you. Do some deep breathing. Do what you can. Keep a positive attitude and keep trying. The last thing I want to say about working out is when you start to do small free weights, lifting weights, body weight exercises, those things are creating more muscular tissue. The more muscular tissue that you have, the less prone your cells are to recreating cells with the coding to make fibroids. Okay? So again, you're changing your reality one breath at a time and one workout at a time. Okay? So those are the 2 questions that I think I wanted to answer today. I got a congratulations. Thank you for the congrats. Remember that if you have Roku, to check out the LOEA network, and I'll have more information about that for you in the interim, because that's where we're going to be expanding. So look out for By Fibroids with Cecily. I will be posting a little clip of the show, maybe the trailer, this week, since the show is live on February 14th, which is so cute. But make sure that you stay with me. And the next time I'll be live here, for sure, if I don't do a surprise live, will be Dance Fit with Cecily on Saturday. I'll make sure to have some low impact songs in there for my ladies who are beginners, and if the song is too high intensity, I will show you some modifications. All right? Are you gonna make your teas? What you gonna do? Are you gonna make some hibiscus or some anti-inflammatory drinks? All right, I will talk to you later. Peace and love.